I feel like hyping the show too early was why it was taking so long. Was why it was taking so long? I don't know about that. I think it was. I don't think hyping the show too early is why it's taking too long. I think that I hyped the show up to try to get people obviously excited for it, but I was doing it leading up to a date that was planned for it to release originally, but like we're actually losing people now, so I'm going to get into this now. So if you guys don't know what happened, basically ever since I first announced Mesozoic Isle, I said that it was going to release fall of 2018, and eventually that was scooted down into later fall and then to December. But I tried to keep to that. But here's the issue. All of Mesozoic Isle's filming was supposed to get done within the 3-month period during the summer. And basically, when we went out and tried to do this, there was a lot of issues. There was a lot of places that we were trying to film at that didn't work out because the national parks had closed down a couple areas, and some areas just didn't work out. And so we couldn't find anywhere to film, and the whole summer got ruined. And then it didn't help that we had some personal family issues towards the end of the summer, and those personal family issues, scooted back filming even further. And so it wasn't until, I would say, probably like, I don't know if it would be late summer or early fall, but it was in that area. We finally got around to doing our first survey scouting mission at this one new spot that we wanted to try, and we loved it. We loved the spot. We found a ton of stuff to do there, and so we explored it. And then we ended up going to a separate spot, which was nearby, but because that other one had some great stuff, mostly for B-roll, but we needed some more stuff for low ground environments. We went and scouted out this other one. It was everything we needed. So by then we had everything. And so for all of the fall, we filmed everything. Basically, everything was pushed off by 3 months. And I thought that I could go Superman on this because I made a promise that it was going to be out by fall. And I thought that I could edit everything within just those couple months. And I couldn't. I couldn't edit 15 episodes of the show within a couple months. I don't know why I thought I could. I don't know why I thought I could get enough done to get the ball rolling. But as soon as I actually, had enough time to start editing the prologue episode, I realized I screwed myself because I kept telling people that, yes, I can do it in 2018. Yes, I'm going to get it by December. And then things kept hitting. Roadblocks hit in the way, which were even more frustrating. But everything just got in my way, and then it took a lot longer, and I made a false promise to myself. I made a false promise to everybody else. I was thinking illogically and unreasonably in my time frame of working on Mesozoic Isle, and that's why it got delayed so much. And then as soon as I realized that, I'm like, okay, I need to stop. I can't do this again. I can't tell people, yeah, it's going to be, here. So that's why I told everybody, okay, I'm getting the prologue episode out so you guys can see that. And then I'm going to work on the rest of the stuff, but I'm not going to say when it's released yet because I want to finish enough of it that it's ready for you guys to watch, and so you guys don't have to, wait a whole bunch anymore. But then I've been having so much trouble because I've been editing for so long. I had all this stuff going on in my head where I was just losing motivation. I was like, everybody, hates me. They think that this show is going to suck. The hype is dying down. I lied to everybody. I lied to myself. And I had to really calm myself down and realize, that everybody makes mistakes and that I was pushing too hard. I was trying to do things that I couldn't do by myself. And I had to calm myself down. I had a lot of very emotional nights, and some days where I had broken down so bad I couldn't do any work on Mesozoic Isle. And so the last, I'd say, like a week ago, was the end of like a 2-week period where I was getting very minimal done because I was struggling so much. And this is a really pivotal time in the editing process where I had a lot of talks with my friends, with my family, and they really helped me out and stuff. And that's why I think I'm coming to the decision where I want to release Mesozoic Isle episode 1 alone and early on itself, or by itself, so you guys can see what I have been working on, so you guys can see that this is still happening. You guys can get something, and you guys don't feel like, you've been waiting forever for nothing. I just want to get it out there, and once I see that, and I show everybody, I'm not making this up. I'm not just sitting here blindly doing nothing. And I think that'd help out a lot of just pretty much everything. And maybe even with that, I get a really nice surge of just editor's juice, and I can just get going even faster. And I can get the rest of the stuff done that needs to be done. And yeah, so I'm trying my best, but I'm not trying to make excuses. These are just the reasons why certain things happened. I realized that I was being way too pretentious. I was thinking that certain things could be done way faster than they actually could. And this is my first go at this series, like a series like this, of any production of this scale. And I really wanted it to be at its best, but I have learned a really hard lesson. And I think that I'm still going to get Mesozoic Isle Season 1 done. And once I do, I think that Season 2 is going to be way better. I've learned a lot from this experience, and I really need to. I really have a lot to note down and to just, I guess, take away from this experience, and mainly with the pre-production. I think that I announced the show a little too early. Well, announcing is something else, but maybe starting the hype train too early for how much I actually was able to get done. So I know a lot more now. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into some of your guys' questions inside the comment section here. How much faster is production of editing than before? I'd say 2.5 times the speed of before. Because here's the big thing that was happening that was slowing me down is I was adding so much sound design in that a lot of it was like so subtle that you couldn't actually really hear it when you watched it the first time. You had to watch it a second time and really pay attention to notice it. And I realized inside of big movie productions, a lot of times, even in some monster movies with big monsters, you don't even hear their footsteps sometimes. If the focus is on the animal's head or the monster's head and what it's doing, or like it's Godzilla shooting a breath, then it doesn't do the walking sound effects because it's not in focus, it's not important. And so I really, what I did with my editing and my sound design in particular, that was the biggest one that was slowing me down in sound design, was that I focused in on what is the camera focusing on, what is the focus of this moment, what does the audience need to hear, and only make the immersion, only work on the immersion where it's needed to be, and focus out everything else on the side. And it actually helps, you as an audience member focus on what you need to focus on. And because of that, I dramatically reduced the amount of sound that I was putting in. I dramatically reduced how much time I was spending on trying to get things sounding perfect. And it's a lot easier to see the need for those extra sound effects if you're sitting there editing them for long periods of time. But when you actually just sit down and watch through it, you're like, yeah, that was just pointless. I mean, all those bush rustling sounds that match up perfectly with how when the figure hits the bush is just pointless if it's not even something that the audience is going to be focusing on in the shot. So that's what I've been doing in terms of speeding up the production. Like I say, if Kiki wasn't really passionate about this show, it'd be out already, and it'd be not great. That is true. He is taking his time, people. He is okay. Sorry, the chat's moving on me here. Where? Oh crap, I lost it. He is trying to make it good. Yes, I am. I actually like the fact that it didn't get released so early because it feels like an actual documentary where it doesn't get released right away. Sorry if I misspelled anything. No biggie. I'm glad that you're finding a positive out of all this this experience here. So when are you releasing episode 1 to non-patrons? I don't know if I can finish. I'm pretty sure I can finish the Mandy's stuff really soon here. So maybe we could shoot for, I was planning on releasing Mesozoic Isle episodes on Fridays, so maybe this Friday. Maybe we could shoot for this Friday. Let's try that. No promises, but I'm going to try to shoot for Friday. I think that's a realistic date. I could get that out for you guys. Maybe a little bit later if it does take Mandy longer to record all of her voice lines. But that's all Mesozoic Isle episode 1 needs. I've been working on the other ones, but episode 1 is like all of it's done except her voice lines. Oh, and I do need to finish up some of the narration. I do need to rewrite some of that stuff. I realized because some of the early narration I wrote before I actually edited that part, and that's when I stopped writing the narration before I edited it. So I have to change that, and I have to go back and redo some of that to sync up with what it actually is at the beginning of the show now. And also the end of the episode just needs some narration finished, and then she just needs to record it. and then we're all good. Hi, Kiki, take your time with this. You're not, you are working your buns off, so take your own speed. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you're being supportive, and it really means the world to me, guys. It really does. I mean, it's been really hard. I honestly, this is the first time I was nervous coming onto a stream. I don't know if anybody could tell at the beginning, but yeah, I was kind of nervous. I've been putting off Mesozoic Isle live streams just because I didn't want to talk about it because I felt ashamed. But I'm really happy with the reception you guys are giving me here. I don't see the purpose of this explanation since fans are still be like, where's the show? Did you give up on it, Kiki? Well, if I can explain my reasoning to at least some people, then I'm happy.